CYBORG, we're back. It's another fight week. Coming up, we got Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. Madrimov is putting up his title, super welterweight title, against Crawford this Saturday coming, August 3rd, at the BMO Stadium. It's out in California. It's like one of those soccer-specific stadiums. Madrimov right now is undefeated, 10-0, with one draw. The draw, I don't know, he's got it on his record. It's listed as a draw. It's one of his previous fights, rematch fight. He originally beaten the opponent by TKO, and they had a rematch. But in the rematch, the fight was actually stopped in the third round due to a headbutt, accidental headbutt. So should have really been ruled a no contest. I wouldn't call it a draw, but somehow, they just called it a draw. But a fight that typically doesn't go beyond 4 rounds, and it has to be stopped by, let's say, a low blow or an accidental headbutt, or something else that has, that really impedes on the fight moving forward in a safe or reasonable way. Then they'll usually, if it happens before the 4th round, that fight is considered a no contest, not a draw. Okay, because there's no scoring. In order to have a draw, it would make sense that you have to score the fight to figure out who did more or less work, right? And that's why I think for him to have a draw as opposed to a no contest, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, he's fighting Terence Crawford this weekend, August 3rd at the BMO Stadium, and it's for Madrimov's belt. Madrimov right now is 10-0. 7 out of those 10 opponents got knocked out. Most of them by the 5th or 6th round. Nobody going past the 9th round before getting knocked out of the 7 people that he knocked out. And so he's boasting a 70% knockout ratio, which is pretty good and pretty high. But he's going up against Terence Crawford. If you don't know who Terence Crawford is, or you don't know what Terence Crawford is about, then you just need to get familiar, man. You just need to go do your research, and you got to get up from underneath that rock. Because if you know anything about boxing and you don't know who Terence Crawford is, you missing out on some really good fights and a journey, by a true star and a true professional. That's what Terence Crawford is. This dude is like a big deal for boxing. If you get to fight Terence Crawford, that also probably says something about you. And Madrimov is that guy right now. Like right now, Eddie Hearns is bigging him up. He's feeling really bullish about how he thinks Madrimov is going to perform against Crawford. I have a different take. I have a totally, different opinion, because Madrimov, I just think the trouble he's going to run into, because his knockouts, if you look at his previous fights, he's very aggressive. He's a skillful fighter. He's very disciplined. He's very tenacious in the way that he confronts his opponents, right? But a lot of these guys are really just standing there, and they're going too much toe-to-toe with him, too much fire for fire. Now, Terence Crawford can do that, but when you fight a guy like toe-to-toe, that's sort of like a brawler's way of fighting a boxing match, right? A dude that's stronger than you, has got heavier hands. He don't really have to be more skillful. He just got to lay up in your chest and get down to your body and keep digging in. He gonna wear you down if he's tough enough to survive the onslaught of your punches, especially if he got a good chin. His body's pretty fit. He can absorb some of those punches without crumbling. A dude like that, if he's stronger and more solid, he's probably going to win that war. And that's the difference between fighters and boxers, right? Terence Crawford, he can fight if he has to, but he only fights when it really makes sense. He's that smart. He doesn't really waste his time with people who are not ready to be fought, meaning like if you're the type of guy that's your style, like you really just want to get in there and brawl and be up in there roughhousing the other fighter, Crawford got something for you. He's going to box you. He's going to make you worry about things that you can't really predict. He's going to, manage his distance really well. He's going to hit you with different angles. He's going to alternate his speed. So you just find yourself constantly guessing, how's this motherfucker gonna clip me the next time? You know what I mean? And you try to get in there close. Crawford got something for you, man. His footwork is excellent. His laterals are good. He fights well backing up. And then probably, most importantly, the motherfucker's ambidextrous. You know what that means? That means he can whoop your ass on the left side or the right side at will. And I mean thoroughly. This motherfucker just don't miss. He don't throw a lot of wild shots, man. Anything that's coming, it's like a goddamn missile projectile. This motherfucker's landing. Shit, it may not knock you out right away, but you catch enough of them shits, you gonna get lit up. And as simple as that. MADRIMOV, man, he's a little too present, meaning he stands too flat-footed. Because that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing when his punches land because the motherfucker is solid. He's digging in. He's planting his feet. So he's getting a full torque, or at least like he's maximizing from the angle that he's punching. He's maximizing the power. However, you gotta be kind of fleet-footed with a dude like Terrence Crawford because his counter punching is too good. The dude, he sees a lot of your bullshit coming. The motherfucker got a counter punch from any damn angle you can think of, and you can't just be concerned about getting in. You got to be able to get the hell up out of there in time so that this motherfucker don't make you pay twice as much for even invading the space. I think MADRIMOV, his best chance is going to be early in the fight. He's going to have to use his power, and he's going to have to take his healthy body and put it on the line almost immediately at the risk of getting, lit up by Crawford. But while he's healthy and in the early rounds and able to take some of the damage that he's inevitably going to face, this motherfucker need to just creep up in there and start roughing Crawford up. I mean, he's got to get to Crawford's chin. You're not gonna get to his body because he manages the distance too well, and he's ultra disciplined. That's the thing with Crawford. He don't really, he go from southpaw orthodox back and forth. He's very disciplined. It's not like he switches up from orthodox and he starts approaching you a little more sloppily or more carelessly. He don't do that. He's like really damn near the same person on both sides. So it's a lot to deal with for most fighters. I think MADRIMOV, his experience is going to be a negative factor, and this is what part of why I have a contradictory view of Eddie Hearns. Now I'm not even sure Eddie Hearns actually believes some of the bullshit he be saying, because the motherfucker is like one of the #1 promoters in the game. And why is he that? Because he always makes sure that he bigs up his people, no matter how knocked out the motherfuckers end up in the end, or how washed up they look in the process of that fight. He does his job, and we get it. So you got to take his bullshit with a grain of salt, because this motherfucker getting a check, and he's also advocating for his fighter. Ain't nobody trusts him. Who the hell want to look forward to see a boxing match where the promoters be like, yeah, my guy, he about to get fucked up. I mean, he about to get laid out, because he ain't shit. There's no promoter with some common sense is gonna say that, right? So that ain't gonna happen. So Eddie Hearns, big ups to him for being a man for his people, for his team. He talk all that good shit because he's supposed to, and he should. So no, I'm not gonna give him any slack for that. But again, I don't believe the motherfucker. Sometimes you just say shit because it's the right thing to say. It's the right motherfucking thing to say. MADRIMOV gonna come up in there and he gonna watch Crawford up. It's going to be a nightmare scenario for Crawford. According to what dream Eddie Hearns had. I don't fucking know about it. Crawford ain't have that kind of problem with people that's 10 times more serious than MADRIMOV. So how the fuck you going to have it with MADRIMOV? I just don't fucking know. But Eddie Hearn said he know. Well, he still hasn't given us any real examples. He just sound like a dude on Wall Street that's going a little bullish when in fact the paperwork says he should be a lot more bearish right now. But anyway, man just doing his job, so fuck what he talking about. He comes Saturday, August 3rd, at the BMO Stadium. Crawford probably just gonna light this motherfucker up. But again, the dude, he's a worthy opponent, so I don't want to take that away from him. Remember, the guy got 2 belts, and he's putting them on the line to get his ass basically washed up by Crawford. And he has a 70% knockout percentage in the first 10 fights. He knocked out 7 people. So paperwork-wise, this dude is very legit. My eye test says this dude just don't have the mechanics to do any of what's been effective so far against Crawford, because there's a difference between good fighters, very competitive fighters, and then domineering fighters such as Crawford. Crawford is an elite fighter. He's not a good fighter. He's not an okay fighter. This motherfucker is elite in a savage way. You know what I mean? Like, this motherfucker can beat the brakes off of a dead horse, and the horse might fucking feel the shit. You know what I mean? I'm being a little hyperbole here, but like, yo, the point is, you know, come Saturday we're gonna see something, and I think Bud is gonna take this one, and just he gonna run a Clarissa Shields on that motherfucker. Take his belt too. If anybody in the streets you see Clarissa Shields and you got a belt on, I don't care if it's a lightweight belt, super lightweight, a welterweight, a damn heavyweight, a damn Gucci belt. Tuck your shit in and get the fuck on, because she about to take your belt. And Crawford gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna get back with y'all after the fight, and we'll talk about, you know, how it all went down. See if I was right. I know I'm about to be right. Or it was Eddie motherfucking Hearns finally had, you know, one of his little dreams come true. We'll see. Anyway, peace.